Hey guys, so I'm doubling down on my last video, and today I'm clearly shooting this video with a different camera from the last video. I'm shooting this video all on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to demonstrate that the camera really is only one part of the equation when it comes to quality video production, content creation, filmmaking, what have you. And there's a lot of other factors that go into creating good quality content. Obviously, there's even more to it than just production value, but I think this video should hopefully serve as a demonstration for why you can really shoot with whatever camera you have. Now, I know some of you might have seen some of my previous videos and know that I'm shooting on the 15 Pro Max, which just so happens to be the latest iPhone. So the camera quality is the best for, this line of smartphones. But even with some older iPhones, like I've shot videos in the past with my iPhone 14 and my iPhone 12, and I've gotten pretty good quality. I think there's a lot of other things that you have to take into consideration when using smartphones or older DSLRs or cameras from, 5, 10 years ago. You need to factor in that, like, for example, even with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's not going to have the low light capabilities or the dynamic range like you would get with a higher end mirrorless camera, whether that's an APS-C or a full frame mirrorless camera. But there's a lot of conveniences to shooting with something like this as well. And I just so happen to be shooting this on the Blackmagic mobile camera app, which gives you a lot more flexibility and manual controls within the software. And it's a pretty powerful tool for mobile content creation. You can shoot in log, you can change your shutter speed to shutter angle on your iOS device. I think you can also use this on Android phones as well. But that's one cool thing about shooting with your iPhone particularly, is that there's a lot of external apps that are, not included with the phone that you can download and play around with to, use for your content creation or filmmaking. And another powerful feature with using your iPhone specifically, and in this case, the 15 Pro Max, is you're able to plug in USB-C audio interfaces or microphones and record high quality sound right into your iPhone, which is what I'm doing in this video. I actually have my Sennheiser microphone boomed right above me in this shot, so you probably can't see it in the framing here, but maybe in the other camera you can. But yeah, the sound quality that I'm getting out of this is great. Now, it probably wouldn't be as high of quality as if I were to just record it directly into my Sound Devices Mix Pre 6 Mark II and then sync the audio in post, which that's what I'm recording with this. Well, I'm recording this video with is the Sound Devices Mix Pre 6 Mark II. Very powerful audio interface, pretty expensive, but I know that this is still high-end gear, and based off of my last video, I was talking about I think the problem with gas in this tech space. But I think gear is important. It's just a matter of knowing where to allocate your money to, get a good return of investment when creating content or video production or trying to build out like a studio or just create videos for the internet. You could put a lot more money into audio gear and lighting, and the gear will last you a lot longer, a hell of a lot longer than buying the latest and greatest camera. And now, again, you might be watching this video and saying, well, yeah, it looks like iPhone footage still, but I think you can also tell that with the proper lighting. So I have this accent lighting in the background here. It's just a aperture tube light. And I have a softbox over here at about a 45-ish degree angle. Still looks a little flat on camera, but I think overall it looks pretty good. And yeah, so this is really just a demonstration, like I said, to show that the camera is still just one part of the equation. And so if you're somebody that's on a budget or maybe just somebody that doesn't want to spend a whole lot on a camera, but keeps eyeing, higher end cameras, or thinking that, oh, I need a full frame camera, I need, a Canon R6 Mark II or a Nikon Z6 Mark II or a Panasonic S5 Mark II, or, one of these, higher end cameras, or even like a Sony a6700, whatever camera that you're eyeing, if you feel like it's really stretching your budget and you don't have proper lighting and, a decent microphone. Now, you don't have to get something like a shotgun microphone or a pencil condenser microphone. You could get something a little bit more convenient, like a Rode Wireless Go setup or DJI lav mic, which I think in the last video I talked about, but I've been hearing some reports that there's some issues with the DJI lav mic too that just got announced. But that's for another video, I guess. So yeah, I haven't had any hands-on experience with it, so I can't say that it's amazing. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I went off on a little tangent there. Yeah, really, it's a matter of getting the things that are going to last a long time. You want to return on your investment. Now, these are all depreciating assets, of course. I mean, it's technology, it's gear, but the microphones and the lighting that you're going to use for your content, video production, filmmaking, they should be outlasting more than 2 or 3 or 4 camera bodies over time. So just consider that when making your purchases. Also, another thing to consider too is grip gear, like light stands, C-stands, tripods, support, things of that nature. Those things factor as well. You don't have to blow a ton of money on this, but there's a lot of other things that should be considered when creating content. And you don't have to buy, even the highest end products for lighting and sound. It's just a matter of understanding what is really important when it comes to content creation and filmmaking. And the camera, like I said, is just one part of the equation. I think that there's a lot of content and videos and films out there that have been shot on really old and outdated cameras that still look extremely beautiful today. And with a good story or just a good plot or a great narrative piece or just a well thought out and constructed commercial or, whatever podcast, I think those things factor more into the quality of the production than the technical pieces. Now, I am a gearhead at heart. Like, I love talking about gear. I love talking about tech. And this is something that I really enjoy. And I'll still continue to use prosumer and higher end gear. But I did want to make this video, again, to double down on the last video to demonstrate that you shouldn't feel obligated to get the latest and greatest. Like, I do this to myself sometimes, but I know that at the end of the day, it really comes down to my ability to create something of value. And I think really, I'm kind of rambling here, but I think that's really the important thing here. So don't be afraid to use your phone. Don't be afraid to buy an older camera off of eBay if you can save a little bit of cash and allocate that money towards a good quality microphone or a decent light or softbox or strip box, whatever. Just remember those things. And of course, this is all depending on what type of content you shoot as well. So if you're somebody that's doing more like travel films, you probably don't need a nice key light. You might want something a little bit more portable and compact, like maybe an RGB light that you could, throw in a backpack and, jet off to, the destination. So just think of those things as well. Don't just completely think of the camera itself. Obviously, there's lenses as well, batteries, memory cards, and a whole bunch of other accessories that you have to consider as well. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys appreciated this video. Like I said, I definitely plan to experiment a little bit more with this channel, come up with some different videos than I've created in the past. And yeah, like I said, don't be afraid to shoot with your iPhone. And I know I said this in the beginning of the video or earlier on in the video. I am using the latest iPhone in this video, so I understand maybe that comes off the wrong way because it is the nicest camera on a smartphone today. Well, actually, I don't know if I think the Galaxy S24 just came out. I don't know how good of quality that camera is, but regardless, I mean, cameras in smartphones are only going to get better and better here on out. And I think we're going to see a merging of the technologies between the higher end prosumer mirrorless cameras and smartphones. And we're going to see some sort of hybrid mix with a lot of the AI technology that's coming out and convenient features on iPhones. Like the fact that I could take this video file right after and just airdrop it to my Mac Mini, which I absolutely cannot do with my S5 Mark II. I mean, I can use the USB-C cable and transfer the files that way, but you know, there isn't really a robust way of doing that. You can transfer files to your smartphone. Like I can transfer photos via Wi-Fi, but beyond that, like airdropping a 4K video file right to my Mac Mini, super convenient. Or I can just go ahead and post the video right away. But yeah, I wanted to leave you guys with this message. Again, sorry, I kind of rambled on there, but I think it's really important to consider these things when just starting off with content creation, filmmaking, and video production. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.